Hey, everybody, welcome to another edition of NasCard Radio. This is episode number 68. I'm your pal Val, and with me today is the amazing Jason. Jason, how are you?
Doing well, Val. Nice to be back finally, and hopefully that'll be the last absence for a long time. So,
Well, we're glad to have you back. And then the man, the myth, the legend, King NASCAR, Logan, how are you?
I am doing great. I'm just glad Jason's back.
I know. And everybody, this is NasCardRadio, where trading cards and racing meet. You're listening to the world's number one NASCAR trading card podcast. Thanks for listening, everybody. Got a good show for you. No, I'm just kidding. We have a great show for you today. Getting some excitement going on in the Xfinity Cup Series. We're going to talk about those races, the highest finishing rookie and the winners. Races coming up. We're going to talk a little F1. We're going to discuss, I found some more information about the Big Lots repacks, the 2021 Panini Prism checklist dropped. We're going to talk about that today. A little F1, whatever else we can think of. So we got a big show. Oh, yeah, we're going to talk about the stocks for Tots. That's back on. So we'll talk a little bit about that. So let's jump into it, gentlemen. The Camping World Truck Series was off. They've been off for a few weeks now, but they are back on this weekend at Martinsville Speedway. The United Rentals 200, that's at 1 p.m. on Saturday, October 30th. Stages are 50, 100, 200 laps for 105 miles. That race is a cutoff race, and we will whittle it down to 4 to run for the championship in Phoenix. Martinsville is going to be crazy this weekend.
It's going to be awesome. All three races are going to be killer for sure.
Yep. Recapping the Xfinity race. That was race number 31. That was the 21st annual Kansas Lottery 300. That was Saturday, October 23rd at Kansas Speedway. And car 54, where are you? In the winner's circle. Ty Gibbs wins again.
Gibbs.
Ty freaking Gibbs, car 54. He was the highest finishing rookie as well as race winner. He's just putting on a clinic. And then also he became the ARCA champion this last weekend as well. So you can only declare points for one series, and he chose ARCA. So that's why his points really aren't counting in the Xfinity series. So he is your 2021 Arkham Menard series champion. So he had a good weekend there. I guess it was Saturday. Yeah.
He had a great weekend, man. He won the race. He almost won the ARCA race. He got passed on that last restart, but he did finish second. He was wanting to win that race too, but he did not. But it was the Xfinity race was awesome. It's gotten to be for me that these Xfinity races here, especially here lately, have kind of been better than the Cup races. There's a lot more excitement going on.
Well, their motto is names are made here. So I've always enjoyed the Xfinity series. And if you've been watching racing NASCAR for a while, we've talked about it before, where when the drivers come up to Cup, you're not really surprised. If you're prospecting or looking for a driver to follow, about them way before they get to the Cup level. So, and again, Ty Gibbs is going to be forced to be reckoned with.
Yeah, he is. He's also the first Xfinity driver, or actually the youngest Xfinity driver to win 4 Xfinity races in one season.
Yeah, it's going to be interesting next year. I don't see them slowing down at all.
No, that car's been dominant, and I don't know if he's going to run the 54 car or the 18 car or what car he's going to run next year, but I'm sure it's going to be stout, whatever car it is.
Yeah, we've talked about Ty Gibbs, his rookie cards before. The 2020 Panini Chronicles, lots of base cards, parallels, and autographs in the Crusades, Phoenix, Score. He's also in Spectre. There's no autographs in Spectre. And then he only has autographs In the 2020 Panini Prism, the scripted signature series, there's an unnumbered version, and then everything is either serial numbered to 99 or less. So I will be definitely looking for Ty Gibbs rookies during the offseason. I don't know if they might be a little too hot right now, but I think when you're in there hitting those shows up in November, December, January, I think that's the time to pick those up. You agree, Logan, Jason?
Yeah, I'm totally with you.
Yeah, definitely waiting probably 60, 90 days after a season ends is for sure the way to go.
Definitely. Next race, Martinsville Speedway, Dead on Tools 250, and that's Saturday, October 30th at 6 p.m. Stages are 60, 60, 130 laps for 125 miles. I'm just looking at the playoff standings here. I don't know if they moved much. I don't know. Didn't really talk about the Truck Series. There's a gap between 4th and 5th. The playoff standings for Xfinity, though, they're a little tighter for position 3 and 4, with Justin Allgaier +9, Daniel Hemrick +7, Justin Haley below the line at -7, and Noah Graskin -24. So still some, nothing's in stone yet or I guess I should say, a little harder maybe in the Truck Series to climb a space if they don't win, but there's definitely a lot of positions, points in play for Xfinity. So Martinsville Xfinity race is going to be a good one.
Yeah, in the Xfinity race, Hemrick and Gragson got together and crashed on lap 97. I mean, it seemed like it was not a good day if you were a playoff driver. There was a lot of issues for a lot of those guys.
Makes it very exciting.
Mm-hmm.
And then moving over to the Cup Series, that was race number 34. That was the 21st Annual Hollywood Casino 400. And that was Sunday, October 24th at Kansas Speedway. That was the Kyle Larson Show, Part 2. Or was that Part 8?
Part 9.
Part 9.
Yeah, that was his ninth Cup win, and plus he's won the All-Star race. So he's had 10 wins this year.
So he was our winner, and our highest finishing rookie was Chase Briscoe at position 19. I know we've talked about Kyle Larson's cards before. They are smoking hot. 2013 total memorabilia and fanfare. They are priced very high. I saw on checking my cards, somebody had the base for like 80 or whatever, and a gold for like 60. They have, Logan, we've talked about this before, and Jason, is that there's just not a lot of surplus cards for sale or wax, so everything's kind of dried up.
Yeah, when I look on eBay, I just don't see that stuff anywhere hardly, especially any kind of wax. Of course, people that have some of these Kyle Larson rookie cards they want to sell, they're, like I said, they're putting some big prices on them, but really, you're really not finding a lot. It's amazing how it's dried up.
Yeah, I would have thought with some of these prices, that you'd see some at some lower levels, but I think everybody's who have them are holding on to them.
Well, I know I am.
Same here. So you can't replace him, and he's definitely the front runner for the championship.
Mm-hmm.
So we talked about him having all these wins, and don't forget, he blew that tire on turn 4 of the last lap at one of those races there. So
yeah, he probably could have had at least, I'd say, 2 or 3 more wins this year that he just kind of gave away. So he could be, in reality, he could be contending for the modern day, total wins in a year record, that's held by Jeff Gordon with 13 back in 1998.
It's amazing.
Yeah, it is amazing.
Next race, number 35 at Martinsville Raceway, the Xfinity 500. That's Sunday, October 31st at 2 p.m. Stages are 160, 260, 500 laps for 263 miles. And the playoff standings after Kansas, Kyle Larson is locked in. Chase Elliott +34, Denny Hamlin +32, Kyle Busch +1. Ryan Blaney is the first below the line, -1. Martin Truex, -3. Brad Keselowski, -6. And Joey Logano, -26.
Yeah. Kyle Busch kind of lucked out because Ryan Blaney hit the wall with like 40-something laps to go and pounded the wall. His day was over. And if it wasn't for that, then, Kyle Busch would be on the outside looking in, and Ryan Blaney actually would have a lot of points on him because, Kyle Busch had his own issues that day too. He hit the wall, I think, twice, and apparently the wind was blowing around pretty good because I noticed that some of the camera shots that were on NBC were the cameras, you could tell they were shaking around. So, the wind was blowing pretty good.
I don't remember which driver it was. Maybe it was Larson after the race talking about how the winds were blowing the car. So a lot of wind.
That's amazing when you think about it. But, I mean, if it hits the car just right, I could see where it would upset it.
So Martinsville going to be very exciting this weekend.
Yeah, I think the last 50 laps are going to be just filled with cautions. I think you're going to see guys dumping each other and crashing and blocking and all kinds of crazy things are going to be happening because, I mean, they all know that, they're fighting for their playoff lives. And, if you don't win here, I mean, if a playoff driver doesn't win here, of course, it's going to be all on points. But, I'm kind of putting my money on Truex right now because he's real good there. He's won 3 races there. And Denny Hamlin has won 5 races there. So either one of those I think is good. Kyle Busch has won 2. So the Gibbs guys, I think this weekend are going to have an advantage. At least I hope so.
We'll find out.
Yeah. I guess everybody out there knows that Martinsville is NASCAR's oldest track. And it's been running since NASCAR was first sanctioned in 1948. And actually it started a year before that. So that track's been around since like 1947, and it started out as dirt. And they didn't pave it until like 1955. So that's pretty cool. And it's also the shortest track too. It's just like 7/1000ths of a mile shorter than Bristol. so it's a heck of a track, and it's pretty flat too. I don't think it's the flattest track, but it's flat.
I didn't realize that. I don't think I've been to Martinsville. I'm gonna have to go.
I haven't either. I want to go there to get a hot dog.
Yeah, I've heard a lot about the hot dogs. I don't know if Jason, you heard about the hot dogs there, what they're famous. I guess we'll have to do a NASCAR radio excursion there. Now we're coming out of COVID.
For sure.
That's what we need to do. Go ahead, Jason.
No, I just said for sure because I definitely need to get to a race. That would still be my first one.
Yeah, the hot dogs are famous there. They're like really red, and they've got some kind of special sauce that they, special relish they put on those things that's supposedly really, really good. I mean, I don't know if it's kind of like maybe the hot dogs you get at Bryant-Denny Stadium. I know that the hot dogs at Alabama games are not red, but they have this really unique relish that they put on their hot dogs that's really good. But yeah, we might need to do a NASCAR radio food episode. Who knows?
Sounds good. So Martinsville, going to be awesome. Let's move over to F1. That was the Aramco United States Grand Prix. And that was that circuit of, what's that?
So I'm good with that. Whatever you say.
Okay. ARAMCO United States Grand Prix. And that was Sunday, October 24th at Circuit of Americas, Austin, Texas. Max Verstappen is our winner. Lewis Hamilton came in second, followed by Sergio Perez.
Yeah, I actually watched that race. I thought it was pretty good. When Verstappen took the lead over Lewis Hamilton, it was kind of like, I equate that to like Dale Earnhardt Sr. taking the lead off of Jeff Gordon. The crowd went nuts. They were screaming when Verstappen took the lead. So I don't know how that's perceived, but it kind of seems like it's a Jeff Gordon, Dale Earnhardt thing in Formula One.
I was going to say it's either one or the other.
Yep.
Coke, Pepsi.
Yep. Right.
So we have not talked about Max Verstappen and his cards. He has about 435 2020 trading cards. He's in the Topps Chrome Formula One He has about 15 different cards in there, but I think the one everybody's probably chasing is card number 6, and there's an image variation on that card. And then there's all the parallels of those 15 cards. I jumped over this one. There's also a Topps Now Formula One from 2020, card number 23, and the print run is 4,047 on that. Now, like Topps Chrome 401, one of the little subsets I think that looks cool is the throwback to the 1954 World of Wheels, and so he has a card in there as well as different parallels. There's a 70th anniversary, orange and gold, red. I think all the flavor, different colors, super refractor, gold refractors, orange, printing plates, red wave, track tags. That's another insert. There's the Sapphire edition of all this. There's the Dynasty Formula One with the memorabilia, autographs. And then one thing, I don't know if a lot of people talk about them or not, but there are actually 2020 Topps F1 official stickers. There's about 11 of those, as well as the 2020 Topps Turbo Attacks Formula One cards. There's about 10 in there as well. And then there's some limited edition cards. Lots of Max Verstappen cards in 2020 to collect.
Yeah, I think that if Hamilton would have won that race, I think he would have had like a 1-point lead in the championship. But of course, Verstappen has extended that lead now, and we've been saying it. It's going to go down. I think it's going to go down to the last race, and whoever finishes ahead of the other person is going to win the championship. I think that's how close it's going to be.
Max and Lewis are the only two within striking distance. Max is 12 ahead of Lewis, and then Lewis is 103 points ahead of Bottas. So it's between Max and Lewis here for the championship. The next race is the Mexican Grand Prix, and that's Sunday, November 7th. So they're off this weekend, and that is at the Autodromo Hermanos Rodriguez. And it looks like that's a 4.304 kilometers motorsports racetrack in Mexico City, Mexico. So that's where the next race is going to be at, November 7th.
I guess from a logistical standpoint, it's cheaper for them to stay here in North America than fly back somewhere in Europe or somewhere else in the world and then coming back to North America. It's kind of like, I guess, the West Coast swing for NASCAR.
Now, if you're listening to the show and you're an F1 person, I want to let you know that Topps UK site has F1 sticker packs, boxes, as well as the F1 Turbo Attacks, multi-packs, and I guess they're collector tins as well. So I don't know if you're getting that information from other folks, but hopefully that's why you're listening to NasCard Radio. So you can order from the UK site. You're going to have to pay for more for shipping and I guess more of tax and VAT tax, but you can still get that product. So
that's pretty cool.
Yeah, I didn't know if everybody knew that or not. So I go out and check the Topps UK site. Like I said, there's F1 stickers 2021 and the Turbo Attacks 2021.
So, Jason, I got a question for you. Do you think it would be cool if Topps made like Heritage Formula One?
That's a weird one. I mean, yeah, I don't think anybody
thought about it.
But it's like, where do you pull that heritage? It's kind of like with wrestling, where you have a few years where you can pull those old designs, but after that, you're pulling baseball designs, and it's kind of a personal taste. Val was shaking his head. Of course, it's going to sell, but it's that traditionalist. What design are you using? Now, if they went back and pulled, are there older F1 cards that they could pull designs from? Like, say, if there was a Heritage and they did like the STP Petty type thing, you know what I mean? Are there old F1 cards?
I don't think so from Topps.
No, not from Topps, but just in general, that they could like steal, air quotes, steal that design.
I think there's some older sets they could do. Is there some kind of well, maybe that's Indy, that meets set from like 64 or something with the rounded edges? And I think there's some other ones they could do. Maybe
At least the
tobacco
starting
cards
point.
from the UK.
Yeah.
You were thinking about those Moorhofer meat cards.
Yeah. But I don't know. It'd be interesting to do that older stock, and I guess they could come up with some. Montgomery 582 Club. They have all these different kind of designs or whatever. They might be able to piece something together.
I think Allen and Ginter would be pretty sweet for some F1. Do some drivers without helmets, and do some variations with helmets, or something like that. I think that would go a long way. And they're already doing 10s for the UK stuff. Put some Ginter and some 10s. They did that a few years ago, probably a decade ago, I thought, with baseball.
So we haven't talked about it, but I did get some soccer a few years ago, and then what they were doing on the Tots UK site was that they had these different tins, and they also had different offerings where you got a special card of a particular player from certain tins than others. So they did Messi and the other guys. The other guys are escaping me now, but they could do that definitely with the F1. Say you had a certain tin and you had Max Verstappen or whatever, or you had a special Lewis Hamilton card, gold version. I think when I did it, there was a bronze, a silver, and a gold, and it was like out of 4 of them, I think you got 2 bronze, 1 silver, and 1 gold. So they were different and limited. And like I said, the Tots UK site, they do that, but I don't really see that in the Tots USA site. I just wanted to throw out if people didn't realize that you could order from the Tots UK site.
Yeah. Just talking about that heritage real quick, I'd like to see the 1971 Topps baseball design be on either one. I think that'd be cool with the black borders and all that. So anyway, it's just my thought.
Going back into that subject, that was something that Val and I talked about probably a year ago, was trying to get some of those Dawn Rust baseball designs into the NASCAR product, in which they have with the 87 and the 88, but to take it a step further with that card stock.
Mm-hmm.
Or, at least closer to those, to that level. But anyways.
Kind of switching gears a little bit, Big Lots. Everybody has been kind of talking about the NASCAR repacks that are appearing at Big Lots. Well, I went to my local Big Lots. They did not have any, but I did ask one of the employees there, and she proceeded to tell me that those are stocked by a third party, kind of like Target and Walmart, but they don't come every week. They don't come every month. They come every month or two. So, and those folks are responsible for stocking. This was like a 4-sided display, and they were responsible for that display. So I guess if you find them and you clean them out, then it's going to be a few months before they're restocked.
So I wasn't here to talk about it last week, and I know, Val, you haven't seen them, but Logan, you have and I have. What have you seen packs-wise? Because I've seen, you can see the top pack, you can't see the inside pack. And it looks like it's darker, but the top one that you can see, I didn't see those. The ones that I saw were 2 different years of Ignite. I didn't see that one either. I saw Ignite 2013, and I thought it was a different year, but I couldn't find it on the front. But it had a different design on the front of the pack.
Probably 2012.
That's what I assumed. Probably something like 12 or 14, yeah. So I was just curious as to what you've seen, what you showed. What were those that you showed again?
Those are
one of them is 2011 Press Pass on the top pack, and the other one is 2006 Tracks.
Well, that's way back.
That's way back. Somebody's sitting on a bunch of, maybe that's who's sitting on all these of these distributors.
I wouldn't doubt it. I mean, I don't see any of that stuff for sale except from, the big 3.
Well, hey, I just want to set the record straight on this, that our own Jason Dean Martin is the one who found it. It's his fault that I'm now having to go look at the big lots every other day to find these dang things to see if they've restocked or not.
That's kind of crazy, though, that there are, just between the two of us, there are 4 different top packs. Have you opened any to see what the inside packs are?
I've seen other different packs. One person on the Nut site showed they had gotten a 2013 Fanfare, and they hit a Kyle Larson auto.
Oh, that's right. Yeah.
So if that's legit, that's pretty awesome. And then I think, Logan, you had shared some different ones as well. And I think even when we went to, well, this wasn't for Big Lots. I don't know if it's the same manufacturer or not. When we went to the National, you had some packs, and those were all over the board as well.
Yeah.
For years.
I opened up one because I wanted to do some videos of opening these things, and I've been so busy at work I just hadn't had a chance to do it. But I did open up one, and one of them had the tracks, and the other one, the other pack behind it was one of those long rack packs with
nice.
like two sections in it. You can see there was a lot of cards in there, and it was the 2010 Press Pass.
Now, do you guys remember with the Ignite? Were they thicker packs or thicker stock cards? Because the 2 that I saw both years, they were thick packs. And then the pack behind it was kind of a skinny one, almost like there wasn't a ton of room in that little blister. Like, do you remember what they were?
So the 2012 have those big autograph and relic in them. That's the one with the Brad Keselowski auto pen. And so those cards are thick.
Yeah, and you need to buy those if you find them.
What you're telling me is I need to go to Big Lots in the morning, but I'm not going to tell anybody where I live. So.
Yeah, you need to go get those, Jason, because you're probably going to get a hit in those Ignites.
Okay.
Sure.
Well, it's kind of funny because there were like 10. I went on Sunday and I was in line, and the line took forever. And I was like, I'll just come back later. And so I didn't get them, but there were like 10 packs, and they all had some version of Ignite on the top. Like,
dang, man, and they're only $3.
Yeah.
You're going to get some good stuff in those. You are. It's going to be awesome. You're going to have to show us what you get.
All right.
Well, I'm going to have to make a run down to my Big Lots and see if they get even stocked. So I don't know if somebody's already cleaned them out or they just haven't gotten to my store to put them out.
I went to my closest one today. In fact, I went in between work and the show tonight, and there was no change in what they'd stocked. It was still the same as the last time I saw it a few days ago. So I've been going like about every 3 or 4 days, just checking, because who knows when these people are going to show up, like you say.
Yeah. So I just want to make sure, pass that information on to everybody about how they're stocked or when they're stocked. So, and speaking of stocks, the stocks for Tots is scheduled for December 7th. That was postponed last year. And if you're not familiar with that, that is something that is done in Mooresville, North Carolina. I know we have a lot of folks who listen from North Carolina, or if you're in the area, the North Carolina Motorsports Association and North Carolina Motorsports Hall of Fame puts this on. It's a charity event. I don't remember exactly. More information is coming about the price. It's not too expensive, but basically they'll have between 50 to 100 NASCAR personalities there, drivers to sign. So I've been once or twice. So I'll read. If you're on Facebook, it's stocks-for, FOR-TOTS, TOTS. And they posted that we have some great breaking news. Stocks for Tots is going to happen this year, confirmed today, Tuesday, December 7th. We're very excited to bring our event back to Race City, USA. This year we'll be hosting the event at a new venue with a new autograph session format, all happening in downtown Mooresville, right next to our Walk of Fame. And they will be posting all the important details in the following week. Stay tuned for driver updates, event times, collectibles, and our location information.
Yeah, it sounds like shooting fish in a barrel, getting those autographs.
It is. I've, like I said, been a few times. I think I've mentioned it to Jason before. There are a lot of folks there, huge turnout, and that's where Richard Petty's has shown up, Bobby Allison, Donnie Allison. I think Dale Earnhardt Jr. came one year. Rex White's usually there. I want to say Ray Evernham, Joe Nemechek, and John Hunter Nemechek.
What about Rex White? Wasn't he there one year?
Yes. So it's a lot of up-and-coming drivers as well. I think I've gotten a bunch of the young guns who are now, regulars in the Cup Series as well. So check out their Facebook page, and if you're in the vicinity or you make a trek, again, it's on a Tuesday though, but that you will, and like in-person autographs, you'll love this event. So
that sounds cool. I maybe this year I can go. I don't know. We'll see. Maybe I can get over there.
Logan, I know you'd love it. So
I know I would.
So, like I said, I saw that over the last few days ago and wanted to bring it to everybody's attention. So, because I know we have some listeners in North and South Carolina, as well as California, but that's too long of a drive for you folks. And then switching gears, 2021 Panini Prism. That's going to be released November 5th. The sell sheet is out. Hobby boxes are going to have 4 autographs, 4 hyper red and blue prisms, and 6 silver prisms. The sell sheet says hunt for ultra rare lava flow and color blast inserts. Look for hobby exclusive hyper red and blue prism parallels, and find 4 autographs in every hobby box on average. Right now, prices at Blowout and Dave and Adams are about $150 a box. And as we are recording, the checklist has been dropped. And I know the guys have been busily digging through the checklist. Anything jump out at you guys?
For me, it's a lot of the same. It's just that thing. I know people go crazy over Prism, and I know for us, 4 or 5 releases a year. It's not, to me, it's not a lot different. Unfortunately, but it's a release, so I'm excited about it, and I'll be buying some. But it's just same as last year to a degree.
Yeah, we got some new names, or not new names, but new drivers in Prism format. Ty freaking Gibbs, card number 59. That should have been card 54, but
it should have been.
But looking through, we have flashbacks. I believe we saw our wheels. There's a zebra, white zebra. There's variations.
Yeah, I think those zebra cards are going to look really cool.
So it looks like there's variations on Martin Truex Jr., Chase Elliott, Kyle Busch, Brittany Zamora, Haley Deegan, Kevin Harvick, Joey Logano, Sheldon Creed, Michael McDowell, and Natalie Decker.
Yeah, you got 3 ladies in there. That's cool. You got Brittany, Haley, and Natalie. Yeah, these cards look really cool. There's one, I don't know what it's called, but it looks like it's got like Fruit Loops in the background. I don't know what that's called, but I think that's a really cool looking card. Val was talking about they got the wheel subset. I don't know if that's just what they're calling it or if they're actually using the brand name.
So those are cards 61 to 70. The base is 1 to 60. So I've got to find out what's from 71 to 100 to find out the other subsets. We know that stained glass is now its own insert set.
Yep.
And that looks like that is a 30 card insert set.
So looking at what Logan was just talking about, that Fruit Loop-esque design he's talking about is the rainbow. It's got to be the rainbow out of 24. Looking at the names of the parallels, I can't imagine it's anything else because everything else kind of has a color associated with it, pink, Carolina blue, and so on. So that has to be the rainbow out of 24 variation, or not variation, but parallel, excuse me.
I think it's cool. I noticed on this checklist that they're doing like they did in Spectra and Chronicles. There's 90 cards, but there's 10 variations, so there's 100 cards. If you want to get the whole base set.
Oh, nice. I didn't even catch that. Yeah, you're right.
So we have wheels from 61 to 70, and Legends from 81 to 90.
Yeah, and it's got the King in it, which I'm always happy about. Can't get enough of the King. And then they've got the autographs too. They've got the endorsements, and it looks like there's 20 different signature cards. You got Earnhardt Jr., Richard Petty, Tony Stewart, Keselowski's, Brittany Zamora, Carl Edwards. I'd like to know where he lives now, but they know. Maybe we can ask. Anyway, Chris Buescher, Christopher Bell, Corey LaJoie, Danica Patrick, Michael McDowell, Sheldon Creed, Tyler Reddick, Harrison Burton, Eric Jones, Brendan Poole, Jeremy Clements, and Joey Gase. So it's pretty good, I guess. Then
I like the signing sessions design. At least the one that they're showing on Cardboard Connection. They're showing Myatt Snyder. And I like how they gave that little white area for the signature. And I like the card, but I'm just kind of curious because it doesn't say if it's a parallel or not. Because I could see it being, possibly a rainbow parallel or something. But I do like the design of those.
So I figured out the base is 1 to 60, 61 to 70 is the wheels. Flashbacks are 71 to 80, and Legends 81 to 90.
Yeah, there's a lot of different inserts. I mean, you've got the Apex, which we've seen before. They've got burnouts, checkered flag. The color blast are going to be cool. I've seen those. Those are red, white, and blue color blast. Those are going to be spectacular. There's 5 of those. You got Jeff Gordon, Natalie Decker, Haley Deegan, Dale Earnhardt Jr., and Rich Petty, which that's the one I got to get for sure. But those look really cool. Then they've got the Heroes. And then Illumination. We've seen those before. Laser Show. Lava Flow, which is what they were talking about. They're ultra rare.
There's 5 of those. Haley Deegan, Kevin Harvick, Chase Elliott, Jimmy Johnson, and Tony Stewart are Lava Flow.
Yeah, those are going to be cool. Then they've got the Liberty Set checklist. National Pride, which we've seen before. They've got Spotlight Set. And then, like what Jason was saying, they've got Stained Glass, which it's its own deal now. Teamwork and USA. So there is going to be a lot to collect in this bad boy. This is going to be, I think it's going to be fun.
A lot of inserts, a lot for driver collectors to chase.
So I just noticed something. And Val, you can edit or chop this up however you need to. But I'm looking and, 90 card base set, 10 variations. If you go down and look at the checklist for the base silver Prizm signatures checklist, so it's just the base cards that are signed, there are only 87 cards. And the ones missing, I'll tell you the names and you can tell me if you have reasons why. Chase Briscoe, Chandler Smith, and Cole Custer. Any thoughts on that as to why they wouldn't be in the base signatures?
How do you know they're missing?
So if you go to the base set checklist, it says 90 cards. If you go to the autograph, it says 87. And I simply went through to see which ones were missing.
Because I pull up the Silver Prizm signatures and I see 1 to 60, which is what I would expect. Oh, you're right. 49 is missing.
Yeah, and then 27 and 30. And then actually the Ross Chastain card says it's only in the gold vinyl, which that means it's only a 101.
You are right.
That's like, I wonder why. That's a weird thing to have so many. And then because my first thought was, okay, who's on this checklist that's deceased? But that's not even the reason.
So Cole Custer is with Stewart Haas. Chase Briscoe is with Stewart Haas.
And then number 30 was Chandler Smith.
Chandler Smith is truck, right? I'm not sure. Maybe they didn't return, but you said they're in other.
No, I don't know that.
Okay.
They very well could be.
unless they are redemptions. But to your point, Jason, I don't know other than Cole Custer and Chase Briscoe being
Right.
Stewart Haas, and maybe they didn't get it back in time, or they got lost, but
that could be. It could
very
be
interesting,
simple as
though.
that. Yeah.
Yeah, that's interesting. I don't know that those are the only logical things I can think of is they either got lost or they didn't get them back in time.
Well, I'm looking through the other stuff, and I don't see them listed on any other signing sets, which the checklists are not as deep, but I don't see them. So, unfortunately, if you were looking for those guys, you're SOL, man.
So I see Kevin Harvick on the list of silver parallel autographs or signatures, card number 36. And Eric Almirola is card number 47, which is Stewart Haas. So those two are there. Of course, there could be redemptions. We don't know. So we don't know. We don't know. And just actually, looking over this here for the last 10, 15 minutes.
Yeah, it's fresh to us too, for sure. That would be a question that we could hit the guys up on Twitter, maybe Tracy and them, see if they have because it like you were saying, it could be so simple that it's nothing.
But that's a good catch, Jason.
You're welcome.
Well, I'm looking at signing sessions gold Prizm, how Ty Gibbs is card number 34.
Yeah, keep in mind that Jason alerted us to this literally right before we started recording. So this is totally new to all of us.
Yeah, absolutely. Imagine being the Ross Chastain collector and it's only a 101 autograph. Like, how depressing is that?
Yeah, that's tough.
Well, that's when you start doing the Fred Flintstone thing.
Yep.
A lot of insert sets that I'm seeing, burnouts, stained glass, heroes, Liberty.
Every time I hear Liberty, I think of the insurance company.
I know they've done a great job saturating that in everybody's mind. So whoever is the marketing person did a very good job.
Yeah, Limu, Emu, and Doug.
So let me ask, with the Prizm price, it just popped last week. Has it risen at all? And do you think it will rise? We still have a week left, at least, until it releases. Assuming it doesn't get pushed back, do we see a price increase at all?
I don't think so. I think it's set at 150. I think it should be about the 120 range. So I don't know if we'll see it drop some. I don't know if it's high, they're trying to capture, or maybe see like they did with the Chronicles or folks from outside of NASCAR. It seems like NASCAR folks, they're not new to it. So I've already saw some rumblings on the nuts side about the price. So, but I guess, Panini will have it on their site. We'll see what they sell theirs for and how fast they sell it. I think they have a 5-box maximum on their website. So I know, last time, I think, Logan, you were able to get in and get some, but I know I was kind of shut out, and I know the bots are released on it. So we'll see. And if we get to see some of that in the stores, I don't remember seeing much in the stores. Of course, I don't see a lot of racing at my Walmart and Target. Right. So,
yeah, I guess you don't see it because you're in the thick of it, and somebody walks in, they're buying it all. It's different here in Memphis, because I've seen a lot more racing recently in Target than Walmart. In fact, I haven't really seen hardly anything in Walmart when you talk about it.
Completely the same. No racing at Walmart, which you'd think it'd be the other way around. Yeah,
you would think, because we've got some Walmarts that are out in the boonies that are like 30, 40, 50 miles away that we go to every once in a while, and it's amazing. We'll go there and they'll have it still, but our local ones just don't have it, and I just can't believe that people are just buying all that stuff out. But I may be wrong, but maybe they are. People these days have been buying everything. It seems like that hits the shelves, no matter what it is.
So I don't know, Logan, what your thoughts are on this, but We have a race this weekend, and then we have Phoenix the following week. The day before, the day before of the race, Prizm is being released. So I guess where I'm going is that Prizm's being released right here at the end of the NASCAR season.
Well, I think it's probably been pushed back. I think it probably should have already been released. Don't you think?
Yes, but I guess I don't necessarily know if it was done on purpose from Panini, but what do you think long term? Because basically our window to collect Prizm is going to be November, December, and January. I think early February, Donruss will come out if it, and that's if everything's on track the way things have been on. National Treasures is set to release in December, but I don't think everybody who collects Prizm collects National Treasure. So, somebody like me, I'll be more inclined to collect Prizm than National Treasures.
Yeah, me too. I mean, I'll probably splurge and buy a box of National Treasures. And actually I did that last year, and that was my Christmas present to me. So that's probably what I'll do in this year. In fact, my wife was asking me tonight, "What do you want for Christmas?" I said, "There's nothing I really want." I said, "I buy cards throughout the whole year, so that for me, Christmas is year round."
Well, then we need some time too to let this sink in, and then we'll have to do our surveys to find out end of the year the best product for NASCAR trading cards this year. So, and I guess we need to do Formula One as well.
Yeah,
we'll do our surveys. Anything else for Prizm, gentlemen?
Not right now. I just want to be able to take a little time and digest it and look at it and see if there's new drivers that, because I haven't noticed one way or the other if we've got some new drivers that have not appeared on cars before that are actually in Prizm. So we'll look at that and see if we find out if there's anybody new that hasn't been on a card before.
Yeah, and assuming we're going to get blasters, I would imagine this is going to be the first $30 blaster for NASCAR.
Probably. I'm not looking forward to that.
Yeah, same.
Well, one thing I wanted to talk about before wrap up is we were following the 1986 Sports Star Photographics eBay auction. It had the 8 different cards with Tim Richmond and the Dale Earnhardt. That closed at $346 with free shipping.
Yeah, I saw that. I thought that price wasn't bad. I mean, it's got an Earnhardt in there. I mean, granted, the Earnhardt wasn't the greatest condition, but those things are hard to find in any shape. So if you can get one of those and pick it up at a reasonable price, I think you've done well.
Yeah, I think the Tim Richmond would grade high. I think the only problem with the Earnhardt was that it was off-centered. Would get an off OC qualifier on it, but I thought that was probably a respectable price.
Yeah, I don't think it went crazy with crazy money. I think it was, like I said, it was a fair price, and I think somebody probably got a deal, really. When I was looking through that, I also saw that back on the 3rd of October, there was a 86 Sports Stars Richard Petty that sold with one bid. It was raw for $47.99. That was a raw card, and it looked good. Don't get me wrong, but that's pretty good too.
Yeah, I thought that I just see that right here. That's also respectable. That 86 Sports Star Photographics.
Mm-hmm. And one thing, I didn't look at eBay a whole lot, but the other thing that caught my eye was just 4 days ago it ended. There were a lot of 6 Jimmy Johnson PSA 10 rookie cards, and it sold for best offer. They had $1,100 on it for buy it now, but I don't know what the best offer was. But there were 3 PSA 10 maximum rookies and 3 PSA 10 SP Authentic rookies of Jimmy Johnson. So, I mean, you figure if those things are, that's even at $1,100, that's still under $200 a piece. which I'm thinking those cards are at least $150 cards at least.
Well, that stuff's drying up. You can't find really any wax, and I think Jimmy Johnson's in that zone right now where he's not in the spotlight, and I don't think people realize, we've talked about it before, all the stuff that he accomplished when he was racing. And so when he is up for the Hall of Fame and his name gets brought up and he gets selected, I guess what I'm saying is now, is a good time to pick some of that up, maybe in the off season as well, when you're looking for your Ty freaking Gibbs, that, you're looking for the Jimmy Johnson rookies and stuff. If you can find them for a cheap price. Nobody's sitting on cases of 2000 SP Authentic, that's for sure.
Yeah, I remember when that 2000 SP Authentic came out. It was, for its time, it was pricey for NASCAR.
I was collecting the 2000, or not collecting, but I was buying the 2000 SP Authentic football, and I think that was about $120 a box. So I would imagine the SP Authentic Racing was probably in that same range.
I think it was, because I know I wasn't going to spend my money on it, that much money on a box of cards back then, back 20 years ago.
Yeah, that's high. Now it's not, but back then, for 4 autographs, and Jimmy Johnson wouldn't become Jimmy Johnson until early 2000, so he was just a rosy cheeked young kid in the 2000 Authentic. Everybody was chasing the Dale Earnhardt Sr. autograph or Jeff Gordon autograph.
Yeah, that's that autograph set. If you could get that whole autograph set, that would be an awesome autograph set to have.
Yeah, we saw that SP Authentic autograph sign of the times Earnhardt Sr. at the show, at the National.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, and they were proud of it too.
Was it graded a 10? I think that one was graded and it was like $5,000.
Yeah, something like that. Yeah, it was very expensive, but it may be worth it. I mean, you can't get them anymore.
No. Well, gentlemen, anything else we need to talk about or discuss, or I've missed?
Well, I mean, I don't think so. I mean, we've had a full show.
Well, if nobody has any objections, I'll wrap it up for tonight. Of course, I want to thank everybody out in California who's downloading the show, as well as our friends in Canada and the other states, Ohio, North Carolina, South Carolina. We appreciate everybody listening to the show.
Yeah, even people who are in a state of confusion. Because I'm always in a state of confusion. I live there.
That's funny. Well, everybody's going to be in that until Martinsville's over with, and then we get the final 4 selection, championship 4. We'll have some closure here this Sunday. So,
yeah, I'll be having NASCAR withdrawals here in a few weeks.
Oh, yeah, I don't even want to think about that. Just enjoy it right now. But thanks, everybody, for listening. Please like, share the podcast, share NASCAR trading cards with your friends. Also want to thank Panini America for sponsoring the show, as well as OK Plumbing. And for me, Jason, and Logan, we'll talk to you next week.